Hello, welcome to the series of AI videos. This is a hands-on video. Here we are going to work with the multimodal input on ollama. Okay, so just to make it interesting, I have this image that I pulled of Kashmir that we are going to work with in this particular video. So as always, here is the code, right? So this is my ollama is running. I'm using OpenAI. So what I'm going to do here is you can either access the image directly as a URL or you can download it, uh, encode it as a base64 and then pass it. Okay, so instead of accessing over the web, I'm going to download and pass it to my model so that it's a little faster. Okay, so the first thing is just doing that, right? It's kind of, uh, I have already saved this image, right? The image that I showed you is here, right? It opens it, right? Does a encode, right? And does a decode and assigns it to a base64 string. Okay. The API is the standard OpenAI chat completion API. Okay. So in a create, you give a model. Okay. Now, one key thing here is that the model has to be sort of, it has to be a multimodal model, right? So llava is one multimodal model, and I'll just show you this, right? If it's like a deep seek as we have been using in other uh, videos, right? If it is not multimodal, then what happens? I'll show you that also. Okay. So in the messages, I'm going to say you are a helpful assistant to analyze given image, right? Which is standard system message. Now the key thing here with the multimodal is uh, in the content you have an additional attribute called type. Okay, and in the type I'm going to use a image URL. Okay. Now this image URL can be a data, right, which is this base64 string, or it can be a URL on the web. Okay. And the second prompt in the user is going to be a text, right? This type is text, and I'm going to say describe what all you see in the image and also guess possible place from where is the image. Okay, that's it. And then I'm going to print it. Okay, so again, it takes a while to analyze, so I've just run it, right? uh, and when I run it, it says the image shows a pastoral scene featuring mountain terrain, possibly part of a range such as the Alps or similar geographical features, right? There are several horses. That's what it figured out, right? I mean, it's mountains, right? Pastoral scene, it figured out horses, right? Since there are horses grazing, right? It kind of figured out that, right? It said Alps because that's the most common mountain which is having like, ice, so much ice, right? Covering its peak, indicating it could be a colder climate, right? It said because it figured out there is ice, perhaps in a region that experiences seasonal variations or as a high altitude. So it's a high altitude since it's a mountain, right? Lush and green, suggesting the photo might have been taken during spring, summer, right? Early autumn, right? Livestock, right? Since there are horses, right? Snow, colder climate, locations with a temperature of alpine climate, right? However, without distinct landmarks or specific characteristics, uniquely identified. So it basically figured out it's like, some mountainous region, right? Pastoral, horses grazing and all that, but it cannot figure out it's Kashmir because it cannot be trained with kind of, that much of data. Okay. Now, as I promised, I'll just show you that if it's like the DeepSeek model, I mean, it will work, but it will say that, okay, it's not like a sort of a multimodal. It cannot figure out the images. So it just looks at the tag, right? The tag that was given by this particular LLM was IMG0, right? So it couldn't figure out anything. Okay. So, okay, so there's a multimodal use with Ollama, right? As always, I have uploaded this to my GitHub repo in GenAI repo under Ollama. It's the multimodal.py. This is the code if you want to play with. So good luck and all the best working with Ollama, GenAI, and multimodal models.